Welcome to All Things Moore County, Moore County's weekly radio show highlighting the many facets of the Sandhills. That includes real estate, lifestyle, community and neighborhoods. And now, from 4 Properties, here's your host, Bill Sahadi.
Good morning and welcome to the talk show, All Things Moore County. Dorothy, this show is starting to feel like family to me.
Is it?
Well, school just started this week.
Yes, it did.
We've been doing this for 16 years.
Wow.
And it's, the beginning of school, everybody was posting pictures of their kids, the befores when they were in 3rd grade. Now they're in 10th grade or 12th grade. New beginnings, a lot of transitions going on.
Yep.
And it's a great time of the year as we enter the school and the fall season. And speaking about new beginnings and transitions, we have a guest on today who is started a new magazine called Pinehurst Neighbors, which is a very exceptional and exciting concept, especially against the background of all the social media that we read.
Right.
And you have to listen to his talking points and his reasoning about why, in this economy, a magazine has the potential to resonate much more deeply than perhaps some of the social media outlets that people get all their information from.
Right.
I'm speaking about Christopher Foster. The name of the magazine is Pinehurst Neighbors, and it's a different concept. I had the chance to meet with Chris about a week or so ago, and we spoke in depth. And Chris, first of all, congratulations and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me, Bill. It's great to be here.
Yeah. You are starting something that many people would think would be going against the grain in our world as far as how they get information.
Well, especially in the Pinehurst, Southern Pines area, just from my perspective, being fairly new to the area,
right.
Moved here from Michigan about 10 months ago, last October, and I've, from the people I've spoken with, including yourself, as well as other local business owners,
right.
A lot of them are, trying to put it politely, they're kind of stuck in their ways, or at least they
right.
are only familiar with certain players in the community.
Right.
So, our magazine definitely caters toward a more specific target audience, which gives business owners at least an alternative place to put their ad dollars and hopefully get a better return on investment.
The first comment that I had or that I thought of when we spoke was how personal and local the magazine is, as opposed to reading something that they have no direct contact or experience with. This is all about local ground roots connections.
Yeah, exactly. I think the best way that I would put it is that I am able to grant access and exposure to certain neighborhoods that probably, they are very challenging to get behind the gates, so to speak, because many of our neighborhoods are gated communities. The type of product that is our magazine, it isn't just a big ad, like a coupon book or anything like that. This is good local information that people can use.
Right.
We feature someone from those neighborhoods, either a family or a person or persons of interest on the cover, so people are drawn to it naturally to open it up and look through it. We keep it small enough, or I like to call it boutique size.
Yep.
So a small business owner that wants to advertise, their ad won't get lost amongst 144 pages of stuff.
Residents of Moore County, people who love living here will tell you in Moore County, there is no anonymity. It's a small community. People get to know each other on many different levels. I've said this before, you can go into a restaurant, and after living here for a while, you can know who's in the restaurant by the cars that are parked outside. You recognize the cars, the license plates. It's a very personal, eyeball-to-eyeball community. You said you moved here 10 years ago, from 10 months ago from Michigan.
Yeah.
What attracted you to Moore County? Because you've had a career which you want to talk about, but you're pivoting and you're transitionalizing a little bit. Why did you pick Moore County?
Well, I think just to give you some context, I've been in marketing for over 20 years.
Okay.
Marketing, advertising, ironically, mostly on the digital side. I've designed websites, run SEO campaigns to help businesses get found online, locally with local advertising. So I come from a digital background, and one of the biggest reasons, it's more of a funny story. My wife and I typically, we're from Michigan originally, just north of Detroit, and we vacation in Florida every March, April, right around when, we're kind of tired of the gray, dark, depressing winters up there.
Right.
We would fly down to St. Pete Beach.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be staring at the sunset over the Gulf of Mexico, and we finally just looked at each other, because we're empty nesters now. Our kids are all grown up, and we said, "Why are we living in Michigan?
Yeah.
Why are we dealing with these long, dark, gray, depressing winters?"
Yep.
So we started looking first, ironically, in Florida, and then we kind of landed in North Carolina. I had been, in a previous life, I had come down to North Carolina probably once a year for roughly 10 years in the Mooresville area.
Oh, yeah.
Right near, off of Lake Norman.
Right.
And I love the fact that North Carolina and now more specifically Moore County, you still have the 4 seasons. It's just that one season that really stinks up north is so much shorter, so much brighter.
Right.
I think my wife was looking it up. There's 100 more days of sunlight here in North Carolina than in Michigan.
Right.
So, if for no other reason, we came here for the weather.
Yeah. Matt and Anita Gray are friends of mine who live in the Detroit area, and they moved and bought a home here in Pinehurst. Mm-hmm. And they have plans to move here permanently. They play golf for many of the reasons you just mentioned, and they did a great renovation on their home in an iconic area in Pinehurst. So we do have a lot of people who are coming from the winter states, as I call it. You're in Seven Lakes West, 10 months in. You have kind of hit the ground running, haven't you?
Yeah. When I'll be honest with you, I came down here initially with a job in hand. The job didn't really go the way I planned it.
Okay.
I ended up pivoting because I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and my company, Best Version Media, actually reached out to me based on my experience. And I'll just kind of paint the picture. I had, I'm in my 50s, my mid-50s. I had a network of people up in Michigan that I relied on, that I networked with, that I got business from and gave business to.
Right.
I left that behind.
Okay.
What I wanted to do was attach myself to an opportunity that gave me, or pushed me, I think is a better way of putting it, pushed me out into the community, build my network, meet business owners like yourself,
right?
Get to know the people within the community, kind of take the pulse of the community, and become a part of it. And I think with being the publisher of this magazine, it has just really forced me or propelled me into hopefully I don't want to say a pillar of the community, but I definitely want to be a part of this wonderful community that is Moore County.
So in the world we live in of Facebook and Instagram, and people getting sound bites all the time. And, yes, you see some of your neighbors participating and conversations are had online. The personal aspect of this magazine is exceptional. Tell me about the first issue that I think has already been mailed to a lot of people because it features someone that a lot of people will know, and you've already set up a bevy of local, well-known business people in the first issue.
Yeah, of course we don't have pictures here, but when we do when you guys take a few photos and we anyway,
we'll have the pictures.
I was going to say I can't show it through the microphone, but we have Leanne Parker,
right,
who owns Whitlauder Jewelry. She creates and sells estate jewelry, and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Yep.
She's a very elegant woman.
She is.
Her and her daughter are featured in the magazine. She lives in Forest Creek, and we just have a great story on her. We also have about, and this is our first issue that's out. We have, I believe, 12 advertisers that took the leap of faith. And, very well-known businesses in the area.
Yep.
I thank them profusely for having the confidence in me and Best Version Media, knowing that we were going to grant them that access and exposure to the communities that we serve. So, yeah, I'm extremely proud of our first issue. We are actively working on October's issue already.
Right.
And I think my goal is that each issue become, each one be better than the last.
Right.
Small improvements, more advertisers, more relevant content, and, hopefully this is a long-term thing.
So this magazine is directly mailed. You have a target list. This is what I found so compelling. You have a target list of a demographic here that you have this magazine on direct mail to.
Yeah, it goes directly to specific communities based on their home value as well as income levels. So I'm not going to mince words. Best Version Media, their business model is to make sure that we cater to the affluent communities around North America. Best Version Media is in 1,400 or more neighborhoods across America and Canada. So we're, international, at least Western Hemisphere. So we've got a proven track record since 2007. It works. They started with 6 magazines in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, of all places, back in 2007. And if you recall, 2007, 2008, the economy was not great. So to basically rise like the phoenix out of the ashes, to get to the point where we've got over 56 million in distribution, that says something about the business model and that it works.
What do you anticipate your distribution to be here in Moore County?
Well, the distribution right now is just under 3,000 homes.
Okay.
And we try and keep it at that level primarily to keep the ad costs reasonable.
Okay.
Because the more magazines you print out and send out, the costs go up. So we try and keep it very targeted. I think of it as like hunting with a 30-06 instead of a shotgun.
Okay.
You are just laser focused on those particular communities, those residents within the communities.
Right.
And because it's a branding mechanism, it's that frequency and consistency that help the business owners become known before they're needed. And a lot of them are home services businesses, white-collar professionals, realtors,
Yeah.
mortgage reps, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're always looking for more advertisers, especially in the home services business.
Well, we'll come back in the second set. I want to give you my take on what my experience was with you in our conversations prior to the show.
Great.
And I'm looking forward to being part of the Pinehurst Neighbors magazine going forward. This is All Things Moore County. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our second set. Chris Foster is our guest. His magazine is called Pinehurst Neighbors, and his first edition is out. I guess it's in the mail. It's already in the hands of the readers. Your next edition you're working on the October edition right now. Here's what struck me about our meeting about a week ago. 4 Properties we're celebrating our 25th year in business. We have, in that time, a tremendous amount of relationships. I get frustrated sometimes with social media because you only have a minute platform that you have to repeat every day. You have to keep consistently sending out blurbs and messages, not the type of messages where you're self-congratulating and you're patting yourself on the back for a job well done, but giving the public good information, which I wish more people would do in whatever industry or trade they're in. The thing that attracted me to the magazine was the ability to not only to advertise but to tell our story, where we get to contribute articles directly. I think 4 times a year, where we can directly communicate something that doesn't go away when you switch screens on your computer, but is still there on your coffee table. To make to create a message that will stick, and to provide good information for the consumer, whatever the company or the industry would be. So you have different options for people. The one that attracted me the most was the fact that we get a chance to be a contributor 1/3 of the year and tell our story.
That's right. You said a lot in that opening, and I want to address the social media issue.
Yep.
What is unique, another unique aspect of our magazine is it's not just putting an ad in the magazine.
Right.
You have that ability, like you said, to become a contributor, but you also have the ability, because we have an amazing tech team, we have the ability to geo-target digital ads as well as Facebook and Instagram ads to the residents that these magazines go to. So if they are within that distribution zone, if you will, your ad doesn't stop working just because they've already looked at the magazine and they put it on the coffee table.
Okay.
So through Facebook feeds as well as on the digital display network, a version of your ad will pop up along the way. So it's that repetition, it's that that familiar face, that familiar logo that's going to help remind people about, in your case, 4 Properties.
Right.
Now, as far as the expert contributor type of situation, it takes a certain level of advertising commitment, but we ultimately, I think the best way of putting it is, my goal for the magazine is to make it your magazine. Not yours, but the community's. A business owner who's in a specific industry will have the opportunity, if they so choose, to be able to write an article, 500-word article, once every 3 months, and they can contribute to the content of the magazine. Right. And I think that's one of the most exciting parts of it, especially those that maybe are a little tired of trying to keep up with social media,
right,
and they just want to get their message out. And it's not intended to be a brag. It's about industry-specific information or community
Right.
involvement type of, relevant information that our readers will find useful.
So you and I have something very much in common. This show has been used as a platform to provide people with good information. It's not to promote, although if you're giving people good information and they feel compelled to reach out, and we've had a great success with that, that's a great thing. But if you're not giving people good information, then you're just being bombastic, and
Yes.
it's straight advertising, and it's cheesy. It's not a small coincidence that so many of the contract vendors that you probably are speaking to, we've had on the show.
Yeah.
And I tell everyone the same thing. There's a fine line between advertising and informing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what the perfect world scenario for the magazine is. It's not just ads. It's good content information.
That applies to the people within those communities.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's the most important thing.
The best referral in the world is a direct referral.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Word of mouth is
Yeah.
by far and away number one. But if somebody is out looking to do something, for instance, if they're looking at landscape lighting, if they hear a company mentioned 2 or 3 times by different parties who have had a similar experience, all of a sudden that sticks.
Yeah.
And so I think probably a lot of the guests we've had on the show, we should probably put a red carpet down and say, hey, look what Chris is doing. It's another way of getting the word out, because our podcasts stay out there, but we don't put the podcasts on their coffee table. You do. You put the information out there in
Right.
something that people like to read. And reading is not a lost art, because there are a lot of people in the demographics that your target marketing are readers.
I agree. And kind of circling back to one point that you made about it not just being about advertising, our business model is very much a 60-40 split. We try and keep 60% of the information, content,
Yep.
and then 40% advertising.
Right.
Might we bleed a little bit closer to 50-50? Possibly.
Yeah.
But as we get more advertisers, we will have more content. When we have more content, we will have more pages.
Yeah.
When we have more pages, it just becomes that much more of a robust magazine that is providing good information. But we always try and adhere to that 60-40 split.
Moore County has so many entrepreneurs and independent contractors, people who do startup businesses. And Dorothy has heard me say this for years. 2 years in Moore County is a lifetime. If you are marketing properly, if you are connecting with the right people, within 2 years, if you can position yourself, you become a fixture. In an urban area, not so much the case, where there's that anonymity. There's no anonymity here.
Right.
So your growth could be accelerated, especially since you're so specifically focused on a target group.
Well, I know the show is about everything Moore County, and I think I'm going to even come back to why I love it here.
Yeah.
Is I think it's the right size community.
Mm-hmm.
There are other communities or other cities in our region that are bigger, or are even much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something about the allure of the Pinehurst Southern Pines area in the fact that it's kind of like that Goldilocks thing. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's just right. And almost everyone I've spoken to has been kind, generous, courteous, very open to the fact that I'm pretty new to the area.
Right.
They've been welcoming.
Right.
So as far as size goes, I think it's the right size. It's not too big. It's not too small. It just feels like you can be somebody in this town,
Right.
but it's not like you're the only
Right.
body in this town.
I think living here now this is my 26th year living here. I think the number one allure of Moore County is the fact that it reminds so many people of the towns they grew up in as children, whether it be from New England, the Midwest, upstate New York, Florida, even California. And our values are very compelling compared to other areas around the country. Our lifestyle is more moderate. Our tax base is very attractive. It's a great place to wake up in the morning. But as you'll find, as you'll see, as you probably already are aware, we have growth issues. We have what some people will refer to as traffic issues, and it's all relative. But for this area, we do have traffic issues.
Yeah.
My brother's in town from Hackensack, New Jersey. He thinks I'm ridiculous. He goes, Bill, this isn't traffic. What are you talking about? I go, Ray, I had to wait 3 minutes at this intersection.
Yeah, the roundabout.
Right.
Yeah.
And he goes, you forgot what it's like if you're driving in Secaucus or if you're driving into Manhattan.
I guess to his point, though, or to your point,
Yeah.
For the population here,
Yep.
the traffic could be much better.
Yes, it could.
I don't know how
It could.
else to put it nicely, but it's not great at certain times of day.
That's right.
There are bottlenecks. I don't know if I can say this, but the traffic circle from hell. Hopefully, they can do something to improve it. But yeah, I'm always waiting at least 3 or 4 minutes at that thing.
Let's come back in the third set. I want to, if it's okay with you, I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the specifics about the magazine, what people that you may be speaking to can expect to find. I don't know if you want to go into pricing, if you want to go into terms of contracts. I just think the feature that you offer about having some of your advertisers participate in writing, directly communicating, is a very compelling thing.
Yeah, and I just want to just say one last thing before we go to break.
Yeah.
It's not just the advertisers that have a voice, it's also the residents.
Yeah.
Homeowners associations can chime in.
Yeah.
Residents can nominate families to be featured. So there's a lot more to talk about.
This is All Things Moore County. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our third set with Chris Foster. He is the head of Pinehurst Neighbors, which is a new magazine which has already been distributed, their first issue. And he's got a lot of plans going forward. It's a personal magazine with a very targeted audience, which I think will be very appealing to a lot of people who they're trying to get their word out about their businesses and their services. And tell me, your first issue is out, and just curious, how do you make the selection for the cover of the magazine? How do you go forward with that?
Well, there's a couple different methodologies, if you will. First of all, the requirement is that the family or person or persons of interest come from the neighborhoods that we distribute to, and those include CCNC, Country Club of North Carolina, number 9, the National, number 7, number 6,
Right.
Pine Grove Village, Forest Creek, Woodlands, Doral Woods. So you ask how we find out. Number one, I personally network. I also have a very talented content coordinator, Jessica. She helps find these people that we want to feature and find interesting articles, interesting information that is pertaining to these specific neighborhoods.
Right.
to be frank, the initial person that we put on here, which was Leanne Parker,
Yep.
With Whit Louder, she just had, after meeting with her, ironically, to ask her about advertising, she told me a little bit about her backstory. And I just kind of pivoted and said, I don't care if you advertise right now. I just want to tell your story because it was amazing. And she is featured on our cover. And, we have her backstory that also includes her daughter and how she, grew up in the Sand Hills and became the business person that she is today and the jewelry maker that she is today.
Right.
But we are looking. We also reach out to the residents. In our first issue, we actually ask, "Hey, do you know your neighbor? Would you like to be nominated?" You don't have to have this amazing story,
Right.
but every family has a story,
Right.
and we'd love to tell it.
Yeah. Well, this is an area of connections, and there are certain people that are truly catalysts and are conduits to all the people and the residents who live here, who, by the way, love to live here. That's one thing about Moore County. Everyone who lives here, they're just so happy to be here. So your first issue is out. You were thanking your advertisers who made a leap of faith. I don't know that it's a leap of faith. I think there's a lot of confidence in the philosophy behind the magazine, but why don't you share with us some of the people that they're going to see in here?
Yeah, and before I do that, I just want to say, in the short time that I've been in the area, out and about, talking to businesses, talking to residents, the one thing that I will applaud this right-sized community that I've referred to is they really support their local businesses.
Yeah.
Whether it be in Pinehurst downtown, whether it be around the resort or in Southern Pines, which is arguably one of the most charming communities around. Even Aberdeen, for that matter. They really support their local businesses instead of the default of going to Amazon or Walmart or some of the big box stores. So we had several advertisers that are in our first issue, and we have more that will be in our second issue. But Three Bros Roofing, All American Mattress and Furniture, Cardinal Family Chiropractic right here in Southern Pines. Cruise Planners, Karen Butler is a travel agent. Elite Laser and Pain and Chiropractic. They're over in Aberdeen. New York Butcher Shop. I tell you what, if you are a meat lover,
right down the street from my office.
My goodness, New York Butcher Shop is where to go. What a variety of meats and pre-packaged meals that are kind of, you just throw them in the oven, and 20 minutes later you got dinner.
Perfect.
So you can just grab something and go. 24 Golf, which is a membership-driven golf simulator and practice facility for all the golfers out there. Lynn Hutaff Realty Group, the Gentry Real Estate Team, F&R Electrical Contractors, Quail Haven, and Midland Bistro are our charter sponsors.
Yeah, sounds like a great lineup. You have contributing articles in the first issue?
We do not.
Okay.
However, we did do a business profile on Lynn Hutaff. One of your, I don't know if you want to call her a competitor or a colleague.
No, I call someone like Lynn, who I have a ton of respect for. We're partners, and we always work that way. And she has that spirit, as does Martha Gentry. And we consider ourselves partners because we're all trying to help our clients get to the finish line. And working in tandem is the best thing that we can do in our business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I'm not going to ask you about the October issue yet. We'll keep that under wraps.
To be determined. I haven't even seen the proof yet of it, so hopefully within the next week or so we'll.
So, what kind of options, if you're making a presentation to someone about the magazine, what does that look like? What kind of options do you offer?
Well, I think one of the things that we start with is, do you want access and accessibility and exposure in the neighborhoods that that I've alluded to.
Right.
A lot of these communities are very difficult to market to, and there's a high demand to get into them. With this type of product, it kind of sets these businesses apart that are advertising within the communities. And I want to just say, I don't accept just any business that wants to advertise.
Right.
I'm essentially the gatekeeper
Right.
to our residents.
Right.
We want to make sure that we are referring the right kind of business, a reputable business, one that has good reviews. And that's part of the presentation is we don't just allow anybody. We want to make sure it's a good fit for the business, for our residents.
Right.
And with that said, we have, if somebody's a small business or they're just getting started, we could do a small 8th page ad or even a 1/4 page ad, and all the way up to a full-size ad anywhere in our magazine, or even the back cover or inside back cover, which are premium spots where your advertisement is going to be in that particular position each and every month.
And consistency is important.
Consistency.
You've got to continue it. If you do it as a shot in the dark, it doesn't stick. It vaporizes.
And that's one of the reasons why we have 12, 24, and 36-month agreements.
Okay.
We don't go any less, and there's a reason for that. And I think you just alluded to it.
Yeah.
It takes 6, 7, 8 times for somebody to see that logo or that face or that business before they really have it resonate in their brain to know that that's the person I'm going to call when I need them.
Okay. So in between the lines, I think you've pointed out some of the differences about Pinehurst Neighbors compared to other magazines. It's not just an advertising keeping up with the Joneses type vehicle. It's a toolbox of information.
Yeah, it's not a coupon book.
Right.
It is not a something that is. We try and recommend our advertisers not put offers or things that deals that expire in their advertisement.
Right.
This is a I hate to use the word billboard, but it is a way for people to put their message out there, put their brand out there. So if somebody needs a travel agent, I'm just staring at Karen Butler's ad right now.
Yeah.
If somebody sees that frequently enough,
Yeah.
they may not be planning their vacation today.
Yeah.
They may not even plan it for 6 months from now.
Yeah.
But when they're ready, they're going to think, oh, who's that girl, that lady that was in that magazine?
Yeah.
And hopefully she's the one that they at least give the opportunity to plan their trip.
Yeah, it's a window to information. If people do want to reach you, do you want to give a number, an office number, a website,
Sure.
any information you can?
Yeah, my phone number is probably the quickest way. You can either text or call.
Right.
And that's 910-226-2151.
Right.
And if you'd rather just email me, it's chrisfoster@bestversionmedia.com.
Okay. Not Christopher.
Well, I have it both ways. So
Okay.
That way it's shorter. Chris Foster. I just switched it yesterday because I was tired of typing my entire name every time I write an email.
Well, I'll be looking for the magazine, and I hope everyone else is as well. And I wish you the best of luck. I think you're going to do fine, and I think you're going to find that this community is going to rally behind what it is you're trying to do, because as far as I can see, we don't have something like this in print. We have, we just don't. And the social media, it doesn't always cut it. It doesn't always stick with you like a good bowl of oatmeal.
It's super fast,
Right.
You've alluded to social media several times, and it is just when my wife is all over social media all the time, and she's flipping through Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok so fast, I can't even keep up. So you would have to really try and make an impact within milliseconds, not just a few seconds, but...
Well, welcome to the community. Welcome your wife, Stacy, to the community.
Thank you.
And I know we'll see you down the road for sure.
I'm excited. Thank you again for having me, and I wish you the best, too. And we're going to be talking a lot more, seeing that you're a contributor.
Right. I'm looking forward to that very much. Chris Foster, thanks for coming in. Pinehurst Neighbors. This is All Things Moore County. We'll speak with you next week.